Welcome back to some new petty revenge stories, where people share their small victories over those that wronged them. I hope you had a great day. The first story is called Treat Your Colleagues Nice. Several years ago, I was working at this company that already had a pretty bad work-life balance. We had a coworker that was going on maternity leave, so my manager had me and this guy take over the work. After my coworker left for maternity leave, I went to this guy and was trying to figure out how to divide the workload between us. Only to find out that he went to our manager behind my back and argued that he had more important stuff to do, so I should take on all the workload myself. My manager, of course, agreed, because he hated that the big boss trusts me more than him. But I was there much longer than he did. I later found out that the more important stuff my manager had him work on was actually just interviewing, and I was more qualified given my experience. Instead, I ended up doing double the amount of busy work and was absolutely miserable. I then found a new and better job 7 months later and was promoted within a year at the new job. One day, my boss at my new job asked me, "Hey, have you worked with these people at your previous job?" It turned out that my manager and coworker from my previous job applied to the same open position at my new job. I of course made sure to tell my new boss how they are not qualified and are not great team players. Basically all the negative things without sounding subjective. Then my new boss basically just tossed both resumes out of the window and didn't even give them an initial interview, which they would have gotten because of their experience. Lesson here? Treat your colleagues nicely and with respect. You never know who you will run into in the future. The next story is called Employee Integrity Hotline. My wife got hired by a well-known big box store as a department manager. Her manager really liked her, and when he was transferred to a store 30 minutes away, he asked that she follow and promoted her to assistant manager of the store. We even moved to be closer to her new location. Then they began an affair. Rather than flip out on either one of them, I called the company's integrity hotline and reported him. I turned over inappropriate love letters, holiday cards, etc., which he'd signed. 1 month later, he was out of a 6-figure job and she got transferred back to her original store. As a final blow, I delivered his still dirty clothes, found at my place, to his wife, who also worked for the same company. The third story is called Debt-Free. About 6 years ago, my former partner of 6 years and I broke up, and I started to realize all of the things I had normalized were actually abuse. After we broke up, I realized that the money I had continued to place into our joint account wasn't going to the mortgage as promised. It was going to shopping, paying for her new partner, and payments to her lawyer. When I found this out, I called the finance company handling our mortgage and told them I would no longer be making payments. I told them they could seize the house if they wanted, but my half of the payments would cease immediately until I had recouped the money stolen, roughly 5 months worth of payments. They said I couldn't do that. I told them to watch me. Soon after that, when the debt letters in dishonor started, the texts, phone calls and voicemails from her started, and I ignored everyone. 2 months in, I heard her car broke down badly because she couldn't afford to maintain it. Not long after that, she filed for bankruptcy. A month later, she moved out and I got my house back. I cleaned it up, changed the locks, got my mortgage back in front, and recently my new wife and I sold it for a tidy little profit. She got nothing. Not a dollar, not a dime. She has no usable credit rating, and my wife and I are debt-free with a deposit on our new home. Feels good. The last story is called Her Revenge Backfired. I work for a small municipal department in a rural area. We have 10 employees and some volunteers. I am in charge of daily operations and I answer to someone else. One of my team decided that she did not like me anymore when I was promoted to this position a couple of years ago. She generally had become a pain for everyone. She complains about everyone endlessly, about how nobody ever does anything except her. When I work with her, I'm in my office from 8 AM until 9 or 10 PM, working, while she sits on the couch and watches TV most of the day. Most days, she will clean for an hour. Occasionally, she gets in a mood and cleans for several hours. She worked with a volunteer the day before, but had already left work by the time I got there at 6:45 for my 7 start time. We have a rather loose uniform standard in my department for volunteers. Basically, they need to wear a t-shirt identifying them as part of our department. When they are responding in an emergency, that requirement is extremely lax. These are all kept in our closet in the station and issued to new volunteers. Full-time personnel have $500 per year clothing allowance. I replenish these t-shirts far too often for the number of people being onboarded. I don't think anybody is stealing them. I think it's more along the lines of, I'm here to respond, but I don't have a t-shirt with me, so do I grab a new shirt. So we are approaching the end of our fiscal year and I still have money in my uniform budget. I place a large order of shirts and these get folded nicely and organized and then placed into the same closet. But this time the door gets locked, so 100 shirts don't wander off in a couple of months. I left a note on the door that I had locked it and to contact me if access is needed. This went on for a couple of weeks and my bad employee was extremely vocal that she believed it was stupid that the door was locked. There were a few other things stored in there, but mostly just junk that needed to be disposed of properly and couldn't go into the trash. Old laptops, computer monitors, etc. The way our schedule works, I was out of the office for a week. I got off work at 7 AM on Friday and I was not due back in the office until 7 AM the following Friday. I worked one day covering at our North Station and then the Friday I returned is my weekend to work. On the Monday where I was out of the office, I received a phone call from my bad employee stating that she needed to get into that closet. I didn't ask for a reason why because I didn't think it was necessary. So I told her that the key was in the safe, which all full-time employees have access to. I really thought nothing of it. Friday rolls around. I have a meeting with a county administrator at 7. I get to work at 6:45 and open the door to find a large pile of things that had all been in storage, with a note. We need to get rid of this stuff. Okay, it's springtime, so we are probably due for some spring cleaning. But if you're going to clean, you have a plan to get rid of the crap that you are pulling out of storage. Don't just pull it out and hang a note on it for someone else to deal with. Some of it was from that closet, some of it was not even ours to get rid of, and some of it was stuff we are absolutely not getting rid of and still needed. I found the original blueprints to our station buried in this pile of stuff to get rid of. The county administrator walks in. He's instantly mad because the bad employee spent all day the previous day whining about how I hadn't been there and nobody is doing anything. And that she had to clean this whole station by herself. Same old, same old. Her big pet peeve is garbage cans. If there's a single piece of garbage in a garbage can when I leave, she will call the administrator and complain. When she leaves, if she collects the garbage, it's all stuffed into one can and not taken out. But I'm more the type to just take it out and move on with my day. Take the high road, because the low road will get flooded eventually. So, instead of having our meeting, we start digging into this pile of stuff because we aren't going to be able to do anything to get rid of it on a Friday. The dump isn't even open and there's no place around us that recycles electronics. I got to put some of the stuff back in the closet. So I go to the safe and the key is missing. Weird. Whatever, there's a spare in my locker. I go get it and try to stick it in the door, and the doorknob has been changed to one that doesn't lock or even accept a key. I'm stunned. She was so annoyed by that one closet that she changed the entire doorknob. The levee just breached. The low road is under a flash flood warning. The county administrator calls her immediately, tells her to turn around and come back to work and change the doorknob back. She tells him, "No, I have an appointment, and even if I didn't, I don't want the door locked," and I quit. The best part is, we are paying for some education on her behalf and she's going to owe us about $18,000 now. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel for more content. Let me know what you think about the stories in the comment section below. Have a great day. Bye bye.